Of Guardians of Axum. So far we've been working through creating a game mechanics prototype, and that is going quite well. Really only got an hour or so every night, but I suppose over time, it builds up and stuff gets done. I think the key is just to keep going, and eventually things will materialize. But I don't work on this at the moment out of the hours that I'm putting in here. So what you've seen so far is all the work I'm doing on it. But I think over the next few weeks I'll have to start doing some extra work, which maybe won't be streamed, just because I might have a bit of time here and there. And it takes quite a lot of effort to set up this whole streaming. You obviously realise I've got a green screen behind me, and I've got a mic set up. It's like just over here, and then I've also got a whole set of different lights. Now these lights are also pretty bright, and they shine in my face, but I've got to set each light up to get the green screen to work. So I've just been playing around tonight with a new light, which is sort of like up in that direction, and my camera, which is up over here. And all of this setup takes a good like 10-15 minutes to get everything right in the right position. And I can't leave it up because I don't have enough space to leave it up. And also I've got two kids who constantly come running in and trample over everything and push things over and play with things and pick things up. So there's no way I could leave it up. Yeah, so if I've got like half an hour spare, I'm just going to do some coding in that time and not spend half of it setting up my streaming rig. So today I was thinking a little bit about what the screens would look like for the different stages of the pre-sale app. So the first screen, I've just drawn some really kind of rubbish drawings here, and here's the first one. So this is the entry screen, and I think we'll have a play, and then we'll have solo challenges, but for the first pass of the app they won't be selectable. They're just kind of there to show you what's coming, and then we'll have a card pre-sale and a collection which will be selectable. So the first part of the app is launching a card pre-sale to raise some funds. So after you choose my collection, so this is all the cards that you've purchased. I'll just swap this out. So on my collections over here, so here we're going to have all the cards that you've already purchased, and they'll have different filters across the top. So we've got our main themes, which you probably know by now, but I'm just going to bring out the graphics again. Here we go. So Paladin, Angel, Demon, Undead, those are our main themes, and they'll be filterable. And then we've got different rarities. So we've been looking at going through 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of rarity. So rare, epic, legendary, insane, and then there'll be common cards as well. So on this screen you'll be able to filter and just look at all the cards you've got with some pagination at the bottom. And then on the right hand side, well, maybe not on the right hand side, but somewhere on the screen there'll be a list of the decks that you've put together or maybe bought, and when you click on deck you'll be taken to your deck view, which is this one. And here, these will be all the cards in the deck, and this filterable screen will be the same as the other screens, that the previous screen listing all of the cards, but it'll be just listing cards for this deck, so you can see which cards are here, and this filter, then you can drag cards in and out of your deck. And that's it really. That's the my collections part. I'm still working on the shop kind of card pre-sale space, so we'll come back to that. So where do we get to? So we built the admin panel, or part of it, and every time you add a card it adds an extra row of data. But right now we're not putting sensible information in here. And also there's a couple of things I'd like to do here. One is maybe have a nav bar at the top, and also when you're logged out you can still navigate to the dashboard. And also this admin link doesn't work. So I think making the admin link work would be a good start. It can just be an A link, I think, instead of a button. So I'm going to go into the web app, pages, dashboard. So I think I'll just make this an A link, and href admin. Let's bring my inspector up. Refresh. Okay, looking good. So now I think we'll have a nav bar in the top, and we'll have a logout button on the nav bar, and also it'll show you who's currently logged in. And yeah, so that's good. So let's finish this table first anyway. So this is the admin table, and render card table. Render card table, name, description, mana, health. Actually, we've also got attack. Which means we're going to have card description. We'll also have a mana amount, and we'll have the health, and then row 1 here, really we don't need this to be a header, so we'll just ditch that, and we'll put the attack here. Let's check it. Looks good. And it would be nice if we could edit as well, since at the moment I've just got a load of junk in there, which makes it a bit unreadable. And also we can enforce numerics for some of these. I think I'll come back and do that later. So the first step now is to do some navbar work, I think. So I was looking at this bootstrap navbar. I think I'm going to make a component called topnav. Component. Let's call it top nav. I think I'm losing my voice again. I've got some tea, maybe that'll help. Yep, that's nice. Component, top nav. Just needs a render. Oh, def. I've come back into Crystal. Get some HTML. And let's pop this in here. So now I'm going to replace some of these because Mint doesn't like text out in the open here. Probably will get rid of many of these, but I just want to, actually we definitely don't want to drop down, so just ditch that. And I don't really care about disabled links. And search, do we just search? Probably not. And what's this? Current. Yes, it's compiling. So we need it on top of the nav. Excuse me. I need it on top of the admin. So here we've got a div with a field set. I think it may just sit in here. Soon find out. Yes, that's all right. And could do with having a bit of space. Top nav. Yeah, so the dashboard could also do that as well. Let's drop it in here. Dashboard. That's good. And let's create in the top nav a style. Just to give it some height. I think I have a style not in there. Yes, this one. Let's borrow that. And this is a nav class. I wonder if it can also have some height. Yes, good. Let's stick it on the bottom and make it 10. Okay, now what kind of links does it need? So right now we can see it says navbar, which is not what I want. I think I'll just put the name of it here, Goa Mech. And this is an A. Let's make this go back to dashboard. There we go. Goa Mech should hit the dashboard. And then the current link can be dashboard, and then the next link can be to admin. So this should be straightforward. Don't need all of these extra links, so let's make home dashboard, and then let's make link. So nav link, current nav item nav link, and this one is admin. Okay, so dashboard should just go to dashboard, and admin should just go to admin. That's good. All good. So this link is active. I think we'll pass in which one should be active. The property is active. Let's pass in the name of it, active item, which is a string, which I'll just set as dashboard by default, and then we'll be able to switch out the active part here. I'm definitely still using my voice. Lucky I've got some tea to keep me happy. Yes, so admin link is now working. When we're on admin, we would like it to be this darker colour. So we'll take active off here, and we'll create a extra class generator is active, and we'll pass in this can be a get actually. We just need to pass in the current name, which will be dashboard. Then we'll have a getter up here, is active, which will return string, and we'll say here, let's go take a string. This is the current string. If current is active item, then active, else nothing. Okay, so then in dashboard we'll have is active item is the dashboard, and in the top nav of this one we'll have active item is admin. Okay, so we've got some helpful compiler here. Colon but found current instead. Okay, and that is in top nav line 9. Top nav line 9. Current string. Oh, that's because that needs to be a fun. You've got to have fun. That's compiled. Let's see what it does. Dashboard. Yeah, dashboard is now grayed out, so that's great. So now we just need to go and do the same thing for dashboard and admin. So let's take this class and put it on the admin link. Nav item. This one's admin. So this should now have admin highlighted. So dashboard, admin. So we don't really need this admin button really. Now we've got a navigator. So I think I'll just remove that from the yeah, I'm going to remove that from the dashboard. So dashboard, goodbye link, goodbye link. Here we go. Okay, dashboard, admin. Now then, we could do some way of editing. And I think probably we'll only edit one at a time, so I'll probably have an actions extra column here. And then when you want to edit, you'll press the edit button, click, and it'll repopulate it up here on this form. And then you'll just click save, change whatever you want and click save, because the form's already here. So maybe this form could be in some kind of panel or something. I do like a panel. Well, I'm not supposed to be going too overboard with this, but I think one little panel won't cause too much problem. So is it a card with a card body? List groups, card with a card title, header and footer. Yes, this one looks quite nice. So maybe this card I will use for the admin. So I think it would have to go here. And I could have a create a card in here. Create a card, and then here we could have a little bit of text, and then we've got the actual content of the text. And what was this? A button. Okay. We don't need the special treatment or the button. We just actually need this content. So I'm going to move this whole field set into the body. See what that does. Yes, that's good. I lost my admin. Maybe I should keep that. So that was top nav, and then here maybe I also want a H2 with admin. There we go. H2 does feel a little big. Maybe H3. Not sure how I feel about that. Looks still too big. Yes. What else has Bootstrap got? Badge. List group, Jumbotron, tooltips, breadcrumb. No, don't fancy any of those. Yeah, let's remove the legend. And maybe an HR or something underneath. Yeah, I'll go with that for now. And also, when we come to render all the details, render card table, we've got a few BRs here, but we could probably do with a HR here as well. And maybe on top of that we'll have an H4 as well, which will say data existing cards. There you go. Admin, credit card, these are existing cards. And now we'll do, let's create a card. This card's going to be called Hercules. A powerful card. 10 mana, 10 health, 8 attack. Hercules. Here we go. So let's make an edit. So for edit, we can just add an extra item to the table. Card render table, card render card. Yeah, so we'll have another TD in here. And here we'll have a action. This would be edit or delete. And then here we'd have, why are all these THs got col on them? Actions. I think we'll capitalize these. There you go. Edit or delete. So first we'll do edit. And this will be a link. So I'll just take that off and we'll say this is going to be an A with an href of A, and here we'll have edit. How's that? Yes, very good. Nice green tea. I thought I'd have something with caffeine in, which wasn't coffee, because if I have too much coffee, I go super hyper. So I haven't really drank any coffee for about, I don't know, 15 years, I think. Something like that. So, yeah, tea is my drink. And hot chocolate, but tea at the moment. Okay, so we'll take edit now and do some stuff with it. So maybe I want it to be a button because I want to populate. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to make a call. And the button will be nicer. So we'll unclick, and here we'll say edit card, which will take an event. Oh, actually, we're going to need to pass in the card, so we should probably do the event thing out here. Event HTML, and returns a promise never void, and then he will say edit card, and we'll give it what have we got here? Card. Probably just need the card dot ID. Has card got an ID? Card has a name. So probably need to expose the ID here on the card. So this would mean we might need a separate request card for creating the card. So let's duplicate this. So this is a card request, and this one is coming from the other side. So let's check in network. When I get a card, I have name, attack. Yeah, I don't have ID on there, but I think having ID would be helpful, because then when I edit the card, I can just send the ID and populate this and save it, and then I can save just the ID of that card. So that'll be helpful. So in the back end, I have to go create a save card or update card function, which will be cool. And then we'll be able to save the cards. And these cards also will have images attached to them. So the current set of images would be like this, but I think in the prototype I'm building for the mechanics, I don't think I'm going to put the images in just yet and focus purely on gameplay. So I might just have some like square blobs that I represent the cards to start with, and then when we rebuild this in the Godot games engine, it will have the full graphics and the animations and things. But right now we're just focused on very basic look and feel for mechanics only. Okay, let's get back to doing some coding. So edit. So right now I've got actions, I've got an on-click which we'll call edit card. So I need to make an edit card, which I think I'll put up here. Edit card. This is taking the card ID, which is a string. returning a promise never void. That's a big E. So I'm not really looking forward to going to work tomorrow, because apparently we're going to get loads of snow in London. So I'll probably be stuck on the tube, and there'll be loads of people, and it'll be wet and cold and hot, and I'll be thinking, oh, what else could go wrong? Because normally when we have the tiniest bit of snow, everything just stops working, and if the tube stops and then everyone has to go on the bus or on the train, and then they get overloaded and they stop, and then you try and get in a taxi and you just can't get a taxi because everyone's running around getting stuck in traffic. So I wouldn't have gone in tomorrow, except I'm having a lunch with a friend who I haven't seen for a long time, and that's one of the main reasons I'm braving the weather, just for that. So I hope he turns up, because I wouldn't want to get stuck in 8 hours of snow. And that did happen to me once. It was crazy. I was just at work with one of my co-workers, and it was about an hour and a half drive where we used to work from home, and he lived quite close to me, and we looked out the window and we just saw a little bit of snow trickling down, and he was packing up his stuff, and he said, right, I'm off home. And I saw him walk down the stairs and towards the car park, and I was like, right, I'm going home too. So I packed my stuff up, and I was literally about 30 seconds behind him, but he got in his car and drove off. When I got to my car, there was a pile of snow on the windshield, and it was absolute deadlock chaos. There was just snow everywhere, and that 30 seconds made a mass difference, because he got home in 45 minutes, and it took me an hour and a half to get out the car park, and then there was so much snow I got stuck on the M25, the circular around London, for 9.5 hours. It was crazy. The only good thing was I had some internet, I had some power, I had loads of petrol, I even had food in the car, and I was warm. And I could see there were other people who didn't have all of those things, so I was quite lucky in that respect. And they did. There was a lot of people who came around and handed out food and blankets and things like that. But yeah, I would not like to do that again. Okay, so edit card. I think the first step to edit card is just to repopulate the create a card form at the top here, and change the button to edit. I think that's a good plan. So I click edit, this changes to edit a card, and save, and then this save will update the back end, and then I'll do the cancel. And when I cancel, this returns back to crate, and then when I click save, this returns back to crate. And if I go and click another edit before I've done anything, then that edit will update over here as well. Okay, sounds good. Let's make it happen. So I really just need to repopulate the things. So actually, I think having the whole cards in here might be a better thing, because right now I've got some state. I've got all the bits out here. I could just set them, which would be fine. Let's do that first. So let's pass a whole card. Oh, the other thing as well, I changed this card request because I want the card that I received to have an ID, and the back end is currently not giving me an ID, so I want this to have an ID, but I'm going to have to make the back end give me an ID first. So maybe I should just return a promise never from this. That should make this compile, I think. card, and go change this edit card just to take a card. On click event, function event HTML A. Okay, here's my E event edit card, just takes a card. I've got a card. I'm expecting a function of event to A. Yeah, here's my function. Where does it end? Over here. Oh, must be tired, because this normally works. One click. I know. Just check the doc here, see what I did wrong. Late at night, I think I say this a lot in my feed, but late at night everything gets harder. Yes. Okay, yeah. HTML event. Okay. Don't need that really. Don't need this. E HTML.event. Oh, got the wrong way around. That's why. HTML event HTML. I should have spotted that, but you know, like I said, when you're tired, you just miss easy stuff. Right, so it's compiling. Right, now it's going to complain, I think, that it wants an ID and I'm not giving it an ID back. So let's go to the back end. Go back. So when I get the cards, these cards from repo find all, so in my repo, which is in here, repos, card repo, this card could do with having the ID as an I think. So ID. And yeah, so I return actually just a card from here, but I think I should return a UI card rather than the domain card. So in domain I've got a card and I don't have a UI card yet. Registration credentials, current user. So I think really I should just create a UI card here. Because this, for each QR I'm building a card, yes. So I think I definitely want a UI card. I'm going to call it, what should I call it? UI card. And it's going to have this stuff. I mean, I suppose card, it does have a getter on the ID, but do I have the ID available here? QR ID. Yeah, but I can't initialize it and it's only got a getter. And this could change shape anywhere I like, so I think it's better to separate the domain objects from the UI objects. Just because then I can change the UI JSON however I like and not impact what's being stored in a database. I suppose a lot of the time there's a close relationship, but like I might not always want to give out some of the information. That should do it. UI card, and then in card repo I'm going to return a UI card, and I think actually ID is just going to be a string as well. Right, let's see if this works. DB success array UI card. So I need to return an array of UI card, which does mean that in GoMec here, when I have these cards, yeah, looking good. That's good. Let's check. Page, card. Yeah, now I've got an ID for each of the cards. So that is very good. This also happens on post, but uses the same thing, same mechanism, so that's cool. Okay, let's get on to edit then. So, oh, what's happened to this button? Yuck, I don't like that at all. Dashboard, admin. Why have we got a horrible looking button? I think I need a class on it, that's why. Button, primary. How about that? Oh yeah, I like it. Well, maybe secondary. Is there a secondary? Do you like a nice button? I don't know. Not sure about that. Looks like it's disabled, but it's not, so. What kind of info? Button info, maybe that'll be nice. If there is a button info. Yes, I like that. That's nice. So, edit. When I click edit, we're going to go to edit card. And we're going to populate all the stuff with the card. Name description, so name, card.name. Let's do that one to start with, see what happens. So edit. Oh, I think I need to, on this form, wherever the form is, I need to set the value. So on input, on name, so I need the value is going to be name. What I called it? Name? Yes, I did. Hercules. Okay. So I think it's important that on edit, when I click save, it goes and updates the correct ID. So I do have the ID, but I need to communicate the ID to this form. So we'll come to that in a second. First we'll set all of the data. So on description needs a value of description. Needs mana, and then on health we'll put health. and then we'll have a tag. And this should now let us set all of those properties in my edit. Name, description, card description, mana, card.mana, health, card.health, and attack, card.attack. Okay, let's try that. Yep, all good. So create a card now needs to say edit a card. I think what we'll do is create another state, which is state editing card, which will be a string and it will hold the ID. So when we save the card, we'll switch it off. So edit card will say editing card is card.id. So when we click edit, we know which card we're editing. And finally, we will go and do the actual edit. So we'll have another method called doEdit, which is a promise never void, returns a promise. And here I think this is going to be very similar to do save card. We'll just save whatever's in the description and then we'll encode it, we'll send it to a different endpoint, we'll get back a success and we'll do the same thing on success. So I think this whole thing is very similar. Hey, there's a debug log in here. We don't need that. Here we go. So now we will, this will be card. I really think I should rename this as well to card. It's not a user, is it? There you go. Alright, so name, description, yes, I'm going to send an ID which will be editing card. So now when I do the edit, it will send to, let's do a put to API card, it will stringify the card data and could not edit card. So that should do it really. Let's replace the save button when we're editing. So down in the form, so let's first change this to say fun. Is this a fun? No, this is a get. Get form title. Returns a string. I'll just say if string dot is empty editing card else So if it's empty edit, we'll say create a card. And then here we'll switch this out for form title plus a card. Right, what's this complaining about? Event is not found on do edit. Where is do edit? Can't type. Do edit. Here we go. Oh yes, I didn't pass the event. Maybe I should. HTML.event. Edit card. Do edit. Okay, so now we have. Right, so this should say create a card still. When I click this, it should say edit a card, and save should change to update, and then I should have a cancel. So where's the save button? Save. So let's create another function called get button action. Button action, or so what happens right now? Save. Yes, it's the whole button. Let's borrow this button and call it button action. Here's button action returns an HTML, and what we'll say here is, instead of, yes, I think we'll just say if a string is empty editing card, then we're all good on the save. Otherwise we'll do the button. Now I could turn this button into a component, but then it'll be reusable, and then you would just pass in the different things that you're doing, like this would be edit, and then this would be do edit card. Maybe I should call it do edit. Where did I put it? Button. Do edit card. Okay, looking good. Yes, that's the form. It'll go up here, then we'll get one of the two buttons. Create button state will be the same. Let's try it out. So, edit. So now if I click, oh no, I think instead of edit we should say update. Love that. Edit. Okay, so now if I do update, I should get a put with all my data. Yeah, that's great. So now in GoMek, I need a put. It's going to be like this one, but it's going to be UI update card, and this will be a put, and UI update card looks very like this one. It's going to be called update card dot crystal. This is update card. Oh, not very good spelling there. And we just need an ID, which is a string. Alright, now we're all ready to do, instead of an insert, we'll do an update. We'll need the UI card ID. We've got all the bits here. So on success, we'll go and find all and do the same thing. Looks good. So let's do an update. Should I call it update card? No, it's on card repo. I think that's enough. Alright, so let's write a test first. So card repo spec, let's say describe insert, let's say describe update. So here we'll say it should update on existing card. What else should it do? It should raise, or it should return an error when the card can't be found. I think that's all of the cases here. So should update an existing card. So we need a card to exist first, so let's go add a card. Let's call it existing card, and we'll say add card repo. I'm going to call this one existing card. Okay, we'll go and now do an update. Card repo update, and it's basically going to be existing card updated card is I think I'll change a few values. Well, maybe I should change all the values. No, I'll change a few values. Let's check the helper. That just inserts a card. Card you can insert gives us back a card. So on update, do I really want to pass everything in? I suppose I do. I could just update parts of the card if it exists, but since I'm passing everything back, it's probably just as well to update everything. In which case, I don't care about this. I just need to pass the existing card ID and then updated name, updated health, or I could pass through, yeah, I should pass through everything. Name, let's use the existing description, the health, existing card, actually Mana was first, then health, existing card, and then attack. Okay, so we'll do that, and then result should be a DB success, giving us back the card, and result value as a card. Let's see, name, I can't type, should be updated name, then we'll just pull this out. And updated mana, just pull this out. I really think I should make this a number. Let's make it 7. Okay, so the name and the mana should be updated mana. Okay, that's it. Let's run a test. G test. Define ID for DB failure. Code for spec 24. Existing card ID. Oh, I see. Maybe I want that. Undefined ID for DB failure. Oh, I see. Add card returns an actual success or failure. So really I need to get the details out of that first. This is more like maybe card, maybe existing card. And then I have to say if maybe existing card is a DB success card. Oops, don't need those. Okay, so if it's one of those, if it's not one of these, I think I can do fail. So it is one, we'll do all this stuff. Or I could also say as a card. Maybe I should do that. Feeling indecisive today. Existing card is maybe card. I'll just call this maybe card, it's a bit long otherwise. Value as card. Card repo. Undefined update for card repo. Card repo update. Yes, let's go fix that. Update. Takes all this stuff, returns all that stuff. Takes an ID, which is string, and so yes, I think it's basically an update. So our table cards get ID. This is the result. Then I can say if results dot raw dot nil else, and so if it's nil, we'll return a DB failure. Sorry, no card was found for the ID. Otherwise, we'll do a r dot table. Actually, this get needs to run the connection. R dot table cards gets ID update, I think, and then I think it just takes this stuff. Dot run that connection. So this is a result. This is a update result, and now we can say if update result error equals 0, can't type. Right, if it's 0, DB success. Oh, I think it's just find by ID with the ID. Otherwise, some error occurred, and here we'll just say sorry, could not update the card with the ID. Something went wrong. Okay, let's do this. Oh yes, db failure.new db failure.new ID already declared. Oh yes, we don't want to pass the ID in. A variable name already declared. 29. Let's just check. Rethink. Rethink DB update. Actually, I think update is going to, yeah. Yeah, the update takes flags which are like this. How's that? Almost there. So now some issues with existing card health. Initiating card reaper update. Rethink string. Oh yes, it would help if I passed the actual data and not the type. Yep, you see, you make stupid mistakes when you get tired. Can't illustrate array of cards. Array of UI card. Okay. So update is returning a success of card. Code spec 54. Card repo spec 54. Array of card. Oh yes, final cards now returns a UI card. Okay, so some failures now because we're adding an extra thing in. I said before that this test's a bit brittle because it relies on adding stuff to the database. Missing hash key error. Okay. What do you get back on an error? I think it's actually errors. Card repo. Yes, this should be errors. Very good. So we can write some more specs around update, but right now I want to go and play with it in the UI. So let's restart the main app. Hopefully it compiles. Yes, it does. Let's restart this. Alright, so let's edit Hercules and change his mana from 10 to 11. What happened? So we did a put. Mine was 11. We got a response. Here's the cards. Here's Hercules. His mine's gone to 11. Awesome. So now, after we get back, we should clear this out so that it doesn't think it's still in a editing state. So that's a case of on do edit. So if we get success response, I think maybe we need some sort of callback here, because right now we're going to go into success response and reload everything, and we don't really know yet if it's worked until we get the success. So we'd like to pass in into success a callback, a function that we can, function of A, I think, that we can call, and maybe it should be a maybe function of A, which by default we could, I don't know if I can set a default here. Probably not. Let's check. Let's check the docs. Well, getting quite tired now. I've got some other stuff to do, so I think I'm going to call it a day. So we did make some pretty good progress. We've got edit working. So the things we're left to do is, after edit's finished, we need to clear out the card info. And also, I think on edit, if I was to take a field out, yes, this is good. Maybe a cancel button here. So a cancel button and edit button. So let's make a note of that. So we did that. We've got the form. We did that. We did some of those. What's left now is to clear admin form after date using a callback to success. Yeah, to success response. We also want to add a cancel button on the admin form. I think that's it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, and hope you continue to follow the progress of this app that we're building. So good night, and see you tomorrow.